Guys, my skin has been breaking out like crazy. And I think I know exactly what it was that made me break out so bad. I think it's like apricot scrub for like blemish control. It's for blemish control, and it literally gave me, I don't even know. But that there, like, look at this. My skin did not look this bad. Like, seriously. But anyway, so I'm going to be talking about why I quit Target and what happened. So I'm going to do my makeup while I talk about it. I just recently quit. What day was it? Okay, so my last day was supposed to be the 18th. I put in my 2 weeks, and then I was like, it's like, no, I'm not coming back. Because I don't like the way they handled the situation. So here's what happened. Started over a t-shirt. Right here. You read it and you decide how to feel about it. Okay, so Target stands with Black families, communities, and team members. They're committed to using their resources to create change. That's what the shirt says. I'm hearing Target supports the Black community and their Black team members. That's all I'm hearing. I didn't necessarily wear the shirt myself, but you know, it's nice that they made the shirt. It's a nice gesture. I don't necessarily think that the shirt should have been made at all, if I'm being honest. But since it was, since the shirt was made, here we are. Let me get a mirror. What happened was, I don't remember what day it was. You know what? It was a weekend. I think it was a Saturday. My friend came up to me, not knowing that I would say anything, but, hey, did you hear Dee Dee said she doesn't like the shirt? And I was like, what? She was like, she overheard this conversation because Macy wanted a shirt, and Dee Dee was just like, I don't want one, you know, whatever. So I was like, okay. And I was like, why? You know? And, you know, there was no answer. She's like, I don't know. But I went up to her. I went up to the girl that said that she didn't want a shirt, and she said she didn't like it. Told me that she didn't like the message. Okay, so she was really, I don't know if it was just such a busy day at Target where she was overwhelmed, and then I like kind of made it a little worse. I don't know if it was that, or if it was just the fact that I'm a Black person that came up to her and asked her what the deal was and like what was wrong with the shirt. Because like I feel like if anybody else would have come up to her and asked her, she would have been like totally fine. But because I did, she decided to, you know, she started stuttering, and I was completely calm. I walked up to her and I was like, hey, why don't you like the shirt? You know, super calm. I didn't start saying you're racist, like it's uncalled for. It's like a simple question. At first I truly wanted to understand. I was like thinking to myself, I was like, is it the wording, the design, like what is it? And I don't think there's any reason that she shouldn't have been able to answer the question, but she was just stuttering a lot, and she was like I just don't, you know, it's not like you know, she just stuttered a ton. But after all that, I was like what is it? What don't you like about it? Stuttering more, and then she mentioned something like it singles out. I don't know what she said. I just heard singles out. Who does it single out? Like, do you mean the like other communities, like the LGBT community or something like that? And I was like, because they have like shirts for those causes as well, and that community, and like Target truly cares. So I thought, like, no, well, what do you mean? And she was like, no, I have a pride shirt, you know. And I was like, yeah, isn't this the same type of situation, you know? She was like, no, it's different. And I was like, how is it different? Long story short, I didn't get anything out of her. I didn't get an answer. She just like truly didn't want to talk about it. At the time, she wanted to talk about why she didn't want a shirt, or like blurt out that she didn't want one, and because she didn't like the message. Like, it's a bunch of bullshit, if you ask me. My manager, Tyler, he came up to me and he was like, hey, after you're done with this customer, come meet me in Nadia's office. And I was like, okay. So the thing about that, I get to Nadia's office. Tyler's right behind me. He shuts the door. They ask me what happened, and I tell my side. I didn't mean to make her cry. Like, that was not my intention. It was just like, it was just a question. Like, what is there to cry about unless you're guilty of something? Unless you're guilty of being racist or whatever. I felt like they basically came down on me, and they were like, we do not discriminate. We do not, you know, do that. When a team member is coming into my office crying, this and that, blah, 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 there's a problem. And I was like, yeah, definitely. They kind of just, I'm saying that they came down on me really hard, and they were like, they didn't even tell me that I was getting coached for this misunderstanding, as they called it. It was like it was a sit down conversation, and it ended with you need to apologize to her. I need to apologize. That doesn't make any sense to me. Please, someone help me understand. I ended up letting it go. I thought about it, and I was like, I don't think I need to apologize to her. I literally came to everybody. I was like asking my mom-in-law, my sister, my boyfriend. I was like, did I say something wrong? And they were like, no, and you don't need to apologize to her either. I think I'm the one that's offended. And may I mention, they did not ask me once how I felt about the situation. They were like, what happened? I guess they didn't like what I had to say. And then from that point, they decided you need to apologize to her. She feels this way. The situation escalated a lot. I'm not well, I don't have to now because I quit, but she only works on weekends anyway. So it's like, when am I supposed to talk to her? And I wasn't planning on it anyway. They just decided what they wanted to decide about the situation, even though they weren't there. They just went off of one side of the story. There's a lot I could have said to her. I didn't want to be a bully. I just wanted to know why she didn't like the shirt. And people were trying to put words in her mouth the whole time. And she put words in her own mouth because she was like, I don't like the message. Well, the message is Target supports the black community. What is there not to like? She is entitled to her own opinion. She could be one of those, you know, all lives matter type of people. At this particular moment, the black community is struggling and, you know, having a hard time, which is probably why Target made those t-shirts. My mind is still all over the place about this situation. What if I do think she's racist? And what if I am upset about her saying, I don't like the shirt, I don't like the message? Like, what does that mean? If you ask anybody else, there's no other way to see it. I don't like the message means just that. What else do you get from that? Like, if she should have just said what she meant. And if she meant, I don't like the design, that's fine. If she meant, I don't like how the words are, like, I don't like how it's worded, it's too much, it's not enough, that's different, that's totally fine. But to say I don't like the message and not back that up, what am I supposed to think? And no, I did not think that she was racist before this whole situation. I didn't think that at all. But now I'm really upset. And I didn't even notice this at the time, but she was a real Karen. Like, she went and she cried to management, and she was like, from what they told me, she basically said, you know, we were doing so good and we were friends, and then now she thinks I'm racist and this and that. I never told her that I thought she was racist. The thing is that Target made this t-shirt, and they handed it out to all team members, not just white, not just black. Anybody can wear the shirt. And let me tell you this, I went up to a different girl, like way before. I was one of the first to get the t-shirt, and then I saw other people wearing them. you know, and I was like one of the only black team members. There were like 3.5. I went up to another team member, she was white, and I was like, does that t-shirt make you uncomfortable to wear it, you know? And she was like, no. She was like, I'm glad that Target came out with these shirts. Another team member, and she basically said the same thing. She was like, this has been going on for so long. There needs to be a change, and I'm glad people see that. That made me feel good. It's okay that Dee Dee didn't want a shirt. It's just that you didn't have to make it sound the way that you did. Like, I don't know. There's just no other way to see it. But I'm the bad guy. And the worst part was that the HR lady, she's black. And she only saw one side of the story. That's not right. Like, not at all. It's not okay. I felt weird about the situation for like, I think 2 days went by. And I was like, that's really wrong, you know? And I was like, I just want to transfer to a different store. By the way, I had been putting in transfers since my 90-day mark. Because you have to wait till 90 days to try to go to a different store. I was trying to go to like 3 different stores. None of them would accept me. They told me I had 2 coachings, and that might be why. I was like, I don't remember ever being coached for that. Like, they don't tell you when you're being coached. They kind of just talk to you. They're like, hey, don't wear that. And then that's it. And then next thing you know, you have a coaching for that conversation. And like, the only conversation that they had with me was about my shoes. You know, you can't wear those shoes because they don't have a back to them, and you know, cool, won't wear them anymore. That's totally fine. And then I saw another girl wearing the same fucking shoes, and I'm like, of course. And they didn't say anything to her, obviously. But I feel like someone's out to get me all the time. I had problems at Walmart, and I'm talking about problems with like things not being fair. I just like for things to be fair and for rules to apply to everyone and not just one person. I think I covered pretty much why I stopped working at Target. There are bits and pieces here and there. I recently, okay, so I put my 2 weeks in, but what I forgot to tell you was that I'm not finishing my 2 weeks. I don't ever want to go back to that store. I don't like racist organizations, people, companies, whatever it may be. She got her way. What, because she cried? Is that why she got her way? I ended up, when I was telling them that I didn't want to come back, what happened was the manager, he called me from his cell phone a few times to like try to get me to come into work. And I had his phone number. They weren't answering the store phone at all. I don't know if it was because it's my number or what, but I literally tried to call them 1,000 fucking times and they did not answer. So they decided to talk behind my back. I heard that from a friend that was working at the time. I already have a new job. But anyway, I tried to call 1,000 times, so I ended up just calling his cell phone. And I was like, hey, are you at work? And he was like, I'm actually not at work. I didn't care. I was just trying to tell them that I'm not coming back. And we ended up arguing about this situation because I was like, he asked me why. I'm not gonna lie. I told him I don't want to work there anymore. I don't think it was fair, this whole situation. I think it was really shitty and it shouldn't have happened the way that it did. From there, he was just like, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, this and that, but we talked about this and you talked. I kind of listened. I told him that I felt targeted. When I was called into the office, they did not hear my side. They only heard Dee Dee's side. Now, saying that, I mean, they did not hear me, as in, they didn't care. They only cared about her side. They only cared about who was hurt. It was almost like I didn't exist. My feelings didn't matter. And this is a very touchy subject, just in general. Why would Target make the shirt, this controversial shirt, if they don't want their team members to talk about it or, you know, worry about it whatsoever? I'm so glad that I don't work for them anymore. I feel like everybody has a new opinion about me and like I'm the bad guy. At this point, I'm just venting. It's not even a story time anymore. Because I really liked working at Target. It was probably the best job that I've ever had. Like, the customers were not an issue for me. Target itself was not an issue for me. The only issues that I had were with the employees, the team members. Like, everything was just so shitty from beginning to end with the team members. And I had just, when I left, I had just gotten to a good place with one of the managers that I like truly had issues with the whole time I was there. We just got to a good place, and then this. But whatever. Really deep down, because I feel like I still want to talk about it, and I still want to tell them that this is not okay. But if I go in there now and I'm not even a team member anymore, but if I go in there now, they're not gonna care. They're gonna like shove me to the side. The holidays, it's busy and whatever. Ooh, that's pretty. I had an interview today and I already have a new job, so I'm not worried about Target anymore. I'm just a little upset, you know, the way that things happened, and that I had to quit my job and I let them win. Biggest regret of my well, I won't say that. Almost slipped. It is one of my regrets, and I feel terrible. It just is what it is now. There's nothing I can do about it. I guess I just wanted to sit down and do my makeup, but I'm about to cut this video short. I have some other things to do, and this lash is gonna wave goodbye to you because, oh my gosh. Some days I'm good, some days I'm bad. I think I can hear the dog peeing on my carpet. I gotta go.